Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how you can actually release equity from your property to purchase more. I'm going to break it down step by step to actually understand if it's first viable for you to release equity from your property, how you can do it, and then what you should be thinking about as well with those funds. So make sure to stick around to the end so you've got the full blueprint of how to do this. First, what you want to do is look at your residential property and understand roughly how much it's worth. So there are online tools that you can actually initially use to do this. So you can use Rightmove, Zoopla, there's other online valuation tools which can actually help you understand roughly how much your property is worth. Once you understand how much your property is worth, then you can actually assess what mortgage you've got left on that property. To do that, you may have to speak to a lender, log into your mortgage account, and that should then enable you to understand what you've got remaining on your mortgage. And the difference between the value of your property and the mortgage amount is the equity you've got on the property. Now, once you've got this, you can then look to now speak to your lender. Now, you may be on a fixed term. You may be on a 2-year fixed term, a 5-year fixed term. And with some lenders, you actually have to wait up until the end of that term to then refinance, pull out money of your property. However, with some lenders, and it was the case with my lender on my residential property, you can actually release equity at any point, provided you meet the affordability checks and also their loan to value as well. What they will assess is your salary, and they'll also check your outgoings as well. And provided that your salary determines that you can actually afford the extra mortgage on your property, you will then pass that criteria check. Second to that, your loan to value. So a lot of lenders will have a max loan to value on that property. What this means is they'll only loan up to a certain proportion of the property value. So let's use an example so this makes more sense. So let's say your property is now worth £300,000 and there's a £200,000 mortgage on the property. A lender now may be happy with a 90% loan to value, which means that they are happy to loan you £270,000. So the extra £70,000 they can actually provide you. And that's the equity release that you've done. And then you'll be paying that additional payment off in the form of a mortgage. Some lenders, that loan to value may be slightly less, and it's worth checking with your lender as well. So once you've got this and you're comfortable and you're happy, then you can proceed with your lender to actually have the property valued. So before they actually do the equity release, they will actually have to go into your property and actually have a valuation done on the property, because they want to ensure that what they're loaning you is in line with what the property is actually worth. And generally speaking, they do tend to lean more on the conservative side. So a lot of times they might value your property slightly less than what it might actually sell on the market. So then once that's done and they've got the property valued, then you can actually make the application either via phone or online to actually understand what the additional payment is going to be and what the interest rate payment is going to be as well. And this is extremely important because now you can actually make a determination between whether you want to take the equity out and the interest that you're going to be paying on that, and can you use those funds to put it into somewhere else where it's going to make you more than the interest you're paying here. Because ultimately that's what you're thinking about. If you can use that money better than the interest you're paying on it to the bank, then you're on the right track. And then once that's done, you can then move forward with actually getting the payment to your account. Now this can take a while. This whole process can take about 1 to 3 months depending on your lender, the situation, if you can actually do it in between your fixed terms. So there are different variables that will account for it. Also, how fast you're actually getting everything over and how quickly you're doing the application will also determine how quickly you can get those funds. And then once you've got those funds, you can then actually look to actually purchase an investment property. So it might be a buy-to-let that you want to purchase, it might be a HMO, but there's different strategies that you can think about. But ultimately the real goal here, what should be viewed, is that your return on investment on your investment purchase should somewhat exceed the interest that you're going to be paying. So for example, let's say the interest rate now is 5% that you're going to be paying on that additional mortgage. If you now take those funds and actually purchase an investment property and it makes you 10% return on investment, then the return on investment you're getting here is actually exceeding the interest rate payment that you're making here. So you're making that money work better for you. That coupled with potential capital growth as well will then exceed that 10% return on investment. So that would be you using that money better than what you're actually paying back to the bank. You want to make sure that you've got a plan for what you're going to do with those funds. Are you definitely going to purchase an investment property, or you're unsure? You want to ensure that you know what you're going to do. I know a lot of people that have actually started off property investing in this way. They've used their residential, it's gone up in value over time. They've pulled out money from that property and then they've purchased more. It's what I did as well. So I purchased my residential property, the property that I'm in right now, in 2017, and over the years it went up in value. So I initially released money from it in 2021 and then used those funds coupled with savings to purchase my first buy-to-let. And what I did in 2023 when the property went up even more is release equity for the second time. And then I used that and then did a joint venture with my younger brother to purchase a block of 4 flats in Halifax. So releasing equity for my residential has been very powerful for me. It's enabled me to acquire assets. So this is why this topic is something that I'm passionate about, something I really want to talk about, because I know that there are a lot of people, and you may be one of them, where you're sitting on equity in your current residential, but it's not working for you, but you want it to. So it's definitely possible. It's definitely something you can do and something you can explore. And hopefully watching this video has helped you understand how you can do that. Now, if you are looking to purchase your first investment property, I do have a bunch of free tools in my description. I'll put it in my pinned comment as well. I've got the how to buy your first investment property starter guide, which you can download for free, which will talk through exactly step by step how you can actually purchase your first buy to let. And then I've also got a free deal analyzer sheet, which you can use to assess any property anywhere in the UK and actually check for cash flow and ROI as well. So the return on investment, to make sure that you're actually making good decisions on your property deals. So if you enjoyed this video, do give it a like, and if you found value from this video or any other video on this channel, then do subscribe as well. And until next time, happy investing.